Howdy folks, we are back with another name redacted draft league battle. This time we are against Wookiee's Altaria motives. He's got a lot of threats. Chandelure has bodied me in previous draft leagues, so that thing's always scary. Greninja is scary because it's super fast. Drill I've used in previous draft leagues, it's just always really reliable. One of the things that I was pretty scared of that he didn't bring is the Glastrier, the ice horse. That thing was pretty threatening. Also, the Articuno variant is on his squad. That was another thing that I was pretty afraid of. That's why I brought Alolan Muck to try and deal with that, but he didn't bring either of those two, but he's still got a lot of threats, so let's see how we do. I'm anticipating that he'll lead probably like Excadrill, Great Tusk, or Pheasantipede. The prior two just to get hazards up, and then Pheasantipede to be annoying doing like U-turn shenanigans, trying to pass poison around and such. Okay, so he actually leads with Greninja, that's interesting. So I'm just gonna Terrastalize into a water type and get my rocks up. He does have a lot of different ways to deal with hazards. Obviously, Great Tusk can spin, Excadrill can spin, but never a bad idea to just get them up and kind of force their hand, make them have to waste a turn rapid spinning. And I didn't bring another Terra Captain to this battle, so there's no reason for me not to just commit the Terra right here, especially when we're quad weak to water, so let's see how this turn plays out. Goes for a U-turn. Take that nicely. So he could go to like maybe Electabuzz here. Could also go Chandelure if he's running like Energy Ball or something. Who is DeVito? That is Electabuzz. Okay, so Electabuzz comes out. Electric moves are threatening. We didn't bring Flygon, which is our one kind of check. Let's go into Muck here. I can't hit him with anything super effectively, but like nothing's going to appreciate a knockoff or a poison jab, really. So the thing is, he could be like physical Electabuzz, and he is. Okay. So that still doesn't do much, but he gets the freeze. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate for us. Well, the thing is, I don't know that Muck is going to be like as super duper important. It would be nice for Chandelure, it would be nice for Greninja, kind of, but let's just hope that we thaw and fire off a knockoff. If we stay frozen, that's obviously a bummer, but maybe we can just save this as like a sack later on, but... Okay, he's gonna Volt Switch out. That does roughly the same amount because we're AV. Interesting to run a mix set on Electabuzz. I don't hate that, just to have the pivot move of Volt Switch along with some physical stuff to catch people off guard. So he goes into the Fez. And we do thaw out. Okay, well, we did not get hacked too badly. Can't complain about that if we thaw out. So knock off, there goes the Black Sludge. I think we just stay in here. The thing is, do I want to go for Poison Jab in case he like U-turns into Excadrill? That obviously would not be good, but Poison Jab, it's gonna hit probably reasonably hard as a neutral move. We can't poison him, but let's just try and hit what's in front of us. So he does go U-turn. That does a pretty hefty chunk. Maybe I'm just imagining that because we dropped below half, but it seemed like that did kind of a lot. I believe this Muck, I've got more like offensive investment too, so if he doesn't go to Excadrill, whatever he brings in is really not going to appreciate this. And the fact that he is not going to have Pheasantipity in means that potentially, so long as it's not Drill, is going to get poisoned. Goes to Great Tusk, ideal, because we can get a big hit off on this thing. Maybe a poison too, that would be nice. And we get the poison, perfect, okay. So that really did not do any damage at all, and we're pretty offensive, but he has Rocky Helmet. So I'm assuming that this is just like a fully physically defensive Great Tusk. He may go for a Rapid Spin here. Do I want to predict the Rapid Spin? Let's just go Colossal. It's a relatively safe mid-ground if he goes for an Earthquake. I could have gone to Thwackey here just to set up grassy terrain. Okay, so he does go for Rapid Spin. I'm not running Flame Body on this Colossal. So, I mean, not that it would have mattered there because he's already got the poison status, but... Okay, poison's racking up. You gotta hand it to Muck. So here, I'll just fire off a Scald, because now we're boosted by our Terra. So that's the other interesting thing about Wookiee's team is he has a lot of like pivoting moves, so he can kind of mess around getting momentum on stuff. But if he's fully physically defensive, which I assume he is just because he didn't take anything from Muck, and I think I'm running like Adamant max attack. He could be like AV max physically defensive, that would be kind of odd, but... Okay, so they're going to switch out. Go back to the Fez. See how well this takes this. Really, really well. But we do get the burn, so that's nice. This might be Assault Vest, because that did like no type of damage. I'm not like invested at all, but with Terra Water, it's like becomes stab, so I feel like that should have done more. But I think I can just get my rocks back up. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really stopping me from doing that. It would be annoying to get poisoned, but I feel like forcing his hand with having to rapid spin again isn't the worst idea. I'm just gonna roost, so. Okay, okay. There's my dog in the background going ballistic. Well, I mean, it's kind of fruitless to stay in because we're not going to be able to hit him all that hard. So let's... maybe we go to Slowbro here. Just because we can't get poisoned and Muck is already too low. I don't really want to be taking another U-turn if that's what he goes for. And he's not AV because he was able to roost, so that's just pitiful damage from Colossal, but, you know, not his role to deal out heavy hits. Beat up, interesting. Okay, so he's not going to be able to get the poison here because we're a poison type, fortunately. But I love that tech on Pheasantipity, just hitting 6 times with every hit, getting the Toxic Chain chance. It's a really good strat. If I nasty plot up here, I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. The thing is, I don't want to just like try and hit this because he's going to be faster unless I get Quick Claw. So let's just nasty plot up and see where that puts us. I imagine he'll probably U-turn into something else. And that way we can just be at +2, and if he brings in something that I can maybe just chunk really hard, we may just stay in and fire off an attack. Hopefully we can get the quick draw. Goes for another beat up here. Okay. I mean, Slowbro is just so bulky, it doesn't really care. Nasty plot up. And let's go for a Psychic. Here, if he thinks it's fruitless and goes for a U-turn, we might be able to pull Quick Draw and outspeed, which would be rad. Okay, he just hard switches, doesn't even go for U-turn. Ah, and he goes for Greninja. So good prediction there. We're not going to be able to hit this thing because he hasn't Protean switched to anything. And now he can probably just Dark Pulse. Let's just try and Quick Draw, because I think at +2, Greninja's really frail. He could go for like Water Shuriken to just guaranteed outspeed, but he might not think that I'm running Quick Draw, Quick Claw because it's silly. But let's try for it. Hey! Let's go. Quick Draw, Quick Claw. Bang! And gone! Alright, first KO of the match. Love to see it. So, Slowbro KOs Gren with Sludge Wave. Alright, we're on the board. One down, and it's a huge threat at that, so love to see it. The thing with Quick Draw, Quick Claw is like it's just very high risk, high reward, because you're dependent upon it proccing to outspeed pretty much anything. Dark Pulse there probably would have taken us out. Greninja's really strong, so that was fortunate on our part. Excadrill. He's got Mold Breaker, which doesn't matter. He's got a Balloon, which does matter for us. That's good to note. I don't think that I have many ground attacks. I think I have Earth Power on Kyurem, but... you know what? We're set up. We're at +2. Let's just hope for another proc and go for an Ice Beam here. That might be the wrong play, but I'm not running Regenerator on this thing, so like it's not like I have a ton of opportunities to set up. So let's just try for another Quick Claw. If we don't get it this time, my Horsepower is going to knock us out. So once lucky, twice not. Excadrill, KO Slowbro with my Horsepower. Alright, tie game. So, I'm pretty sure Kyurem outspeeds. The question is, does Specs Ice Beam do enough? Probably not. I mean, throughout this entire season, I've been pretty underwhelmed with Kyurem, if I'm honest. So I'll come in, set up the grassy terrain. I don't think that there's much of anything that Excadrill can do. So let's just go for a knockoff here. I can't imagine Excadrill has much of anything to touch Thwackey, so I don't think he'd stay in unless he like goes for rocks. But worst case, we pop the balloon, set things up a little bit for later. It's a good battle so far. Again, his team just has a ton of threats, and he didn't even bring two of the things that I was very scared of, so that kind of tells you how deep his roster is. Okay, so he switches out. Good prediction on our part. Who was DeVito? It's the Electabuzz, which takes some Stealth Rock damage, and we knock off the Eviolite. Okay, that's good to have gone. We already know that he has Ice Punch. But we're max HP and we're also a Violate, I think. Yeah, so I feel pretty confident we could live. Let's just go for a Wood Hammer. Let's just try and fire off a heavy hit. So he does go Ice Punch. Does not get the freeze this time. And then Wood Hammer takes that out. Alright, perfect. Thwackey KOs Electabuzz with Wood Hammer. Alright, 2 down. Oh, and we got Static. That's no good. And he brings in Chandelure. Do I want to save Thwackey? You know, it might be useful. Let's make a saucy prediction and go Colossal here, predicting a fire move. Because we have Flash Fire specifically for this. If he goes for Energy Ball and predicts that, I mean, fair play. That would just be a great prediction on his part. I think it makes sense to save Thwackey because every time I let him die early, I'm usually in a spot later on where I need the terrain for Hawlucha, so even paralyzed, we can hopefully fire off some grassy glides and see how we do, but Chandelure remains a giant threat. What else is new? Oh, and he goes for Energy Ball! What a stud! What a stud! We take it, though. Man, that was a great prediction on his part. So that puts us in a tough spot. That was a great play by Wookiee right there. Let's pivot now to Muck. I think he's even maybe going to two-shot me with Energy Ball. I'm not sure if Chandelure gets a grass buff from grassy terrain, because I think it has to be like grounded Pokemon, but I don't know if Pokemon logic counts Chandelure as grounded, so I don't know. I guess it doesn't have Levitate and isn't a flying Pokemon, so I guess it probably would. Yo no sé. But yeah, that was a great prediction on his part. So we go into Muck. Another Energy Ball comes out. Let's see how well we take this or not. Yeah, there's no way we take two. And he gets the special defense drop, so yeah, that's going to be the end of Muck here. Uh-oh. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. So I think we may have to bank on him being choiced in some way. And here he's going to commit the Terra. And it's Terra Fire. He goes for another Energy Ball. So I have to assume that he's choiced. So Shandy KOs Muck with Energy Ball. And there goes the grassy terrain. So maybe we get the terrain back up and see if Thwackey can tank an Energy Ball. I wouldn't be surprised if he could, because again, we're max HP, we got a Violite. So let's just set up our terrain. Go for a knockoff. It's not going to be super effective anymore because he's pure fire, but because the other thing is this covers for a switch if he thinks the jig is up, if he's choiced and is like, oh, I can't go for a grass move on the Grassmon type deal. Yeah, so he does switch out. Okay. So decent prediction on our part depending upon what he brings in, but it's going to be the Festivity. Knockoff does no damage. Already knocked his item off. So I think here he's gonna Roost. So let's go to Hawlucha and try to start doing some shenanigans and reverse sweep this, because we're in a tough spot right now. I'm guessing that he's gonna go for Roost. Get our defense boost from Grassy Seed, and he goes for beat up. Dang. Well, we resisted, but we're gonna get poisoned, so that's gonna put Hawlucha on a timer for sure. There it is. Tough, tough, tough. Well, I think here, regardless of the poison, we have to go for Swords Dance. If he stays in and goes for Roost, and we can maybe encore him into the Roost and get greedy, but again, the poison just puts us on a timer. It's gonna be tough to overcome that. Gotta just set up and start trying to poke holes in things. So he stays in, he might go for like Moonblast. That would be unfortunate. No, so he goes for Roost. Okay. Thing is, do I want to waste a turn going for Encore on the off chance that he switches? Let's just fire off Acrobatics. I don't want to play around because, yeah, and that takes it out anyway. It would have been too greedy, I think. So Hawlucha KOs Fez with Acro. And now we're in a pretty good position. Goes into the Great Tusk. I don't know if this thing gets priority moves. I know Donphan gets Ice Shard, but I don't know if this thing does. Just gotta fire off an Acro. On speed, that thing's taken out. Alright, so Hawlucha. KOs. Tusk with Acro. And then I think all he has left is Excadrill and Chandelure. Train goes away, but we're all good. We've got our Unburden going. Chandelure takes a chunk. Go close combat here for the meme. So we're probably gonna die to poison now. Okay, switches, interesting. Probably trying to bait another Acro. Smart play. But, you know, I think either of our stab moves would have taken out Chandelure from there. And this is better for us, I think, yeah. So the drill goes down. Do we live another round of poison? No, we do not. Okay, so it comes down to everything I have left against Chandelure, which, from my own personal experience, feels like kind of scary, to be quite honest. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go into Colossal first. And that may bait the grass type move. And if it does, we can just safely go to Kyurem thereafter. Yeah, this has been a really good game. Wookiee made a lot of really good plays, some solid predictions. brought an interesting team that I wasn't like super prepared for. The Electabuzz threw me off. Got the freeze that didn't ultimately matter because we thawed first turn, but some cool sets, and Pheasantipity obviously is a problem, but... Okay, goes Flamethrower, we're Flash Fire, we're good. So that was probably his best play anyway. I was just hoping that I was not Flash Fire because he couldn't lock himself into a grass move with Kyurem in the back. So that'll be GG to Wookiee. Colossal gets the final KO. Not usually his forte, but hence the water type flaming pile of coal. That makes a ton of sense. Alright, GG Wookiee. It's going to be a 3-0 in our favor, and we move on to the season finale of the regular season in Week 9. GG.